Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Dean.
I thank the chair and the ranking lady. I thank you very, very much, ranking member. To all of our witnesses today, I have to say I'm in awe of your courage, your testimony, your willingness to bring your experiences here to us so that we can craft better policy. I can't imagine how difficult it is to talk about the painful experiences you endured, in some cases year after year, day after day, especially Ms. Solomon, Ms. Glenn, and Ms. Wittrall. And I thank you, Ms. Alcazar, for bringing your perspective and your courage and strength. Still, I want to focus on the facts. We have to focus on the data. We have to focus on the facts if we're going to save lives. I couldn't help but think of the many women, on average 70 women a month, who can't speak before us as you have so courageously because their abusers used a gun to murder them. Our laws failed to protect these women. We, as lawmakers, failed to protect them when we know that access to a gun makes an abuser, and we've heard the statistic, but we really have to focus on it, makes an abuser 5 times more likely to kill his female partner. We also know that when an abused woman purchases a gun for protection, or if there's another gun in the house for whatever reason, statistically speaking, the risk that her partner will kill her doubles, 5 times and 2 times. That's why we have to be serious. We have to be honest. We can't spout the lies that we've heard on the other side. From the other side, we've actually had hearings where we don't want to defund the police. They want to defund and disband ATF. Imagine that. They don't want us chasing down criminals. So we can't turn away from these alarming facts. Ms. Glenn, as a survivor yourself, what does the premise, and you talked about actually going out before the Supreme Court, what does the premise of Rahimi case mean to you? In other words, that a man, the holding is, that a man subject to a domestic violence restraining order should nevertheless be able to own a gun. What does that mean to you?
Thank you so much for that question. The premise being that if I'm a survivor or victim of domestic violence and I am expected that I expect that a domestic violence protection order is going to protect me, how come I'm not protected from the very thing that will cause me harm, which is the firearm?
Well said.
It's very, very troubling. The access that that abusive person may have to that firearm, even if I'm under protection order, is removed.
Well said. Ms. Solomon, again, thank you for your courage to defend yourself and your child. I cannot imagine what you have gone through and how that really inspired in you to be different, to start a business in the same area. And I really honor the way you keep talking about responsible gun ownership. That is what we want in this country. We don't want to take everybody's gun away, but we want responsible gun ownership, and we want those who shouldn't possess a gun not to possess it. I will talk about your business for just a moment. I was concerned to learn that your business received Demand 2 letters from the ATF 2 years in a row, I believe, both in 2022 and in 2023. For those who don't know, Demand 2 is a program, a requirement under the Department of Justice ATF that helps local and state law enforcement trace crime guns. Currently, gun dealers are added to the program if they have had 25 or more guns traced to their dealership with a time to crime, I know you're familiar with this, which is the period between the initial sale of the gun and the recovery of the crime of 3 years or less. I want to be absolutely clear. You're getting those letters, and requiring you to participate in the program does not mean you've done anything wrong, but it is unusual. Only about 3% of FFLs are subject to that program, the Demand 2 program. So I would like to talk to you about solutions. You're intimately close up with the sale, the transaction, the training. You know that many of these guns that have been sold through your FFL have been traced to crimes. You must be thinking about the solutions. What are some of the solutions? Other than, I know why people are here today to say arm more women. What are some of the other solutions to prevent gun violence and to prevent guns getting into the hands of criminals?
The one thing that we have to address is that people within the African American or Black community for years and hundreds of years have been starving for firearms education. And recently, with my work that I've been doing alongside my husband at Redstone Firearms, is education. We have only been doing this for 7 years, alongside the National African American Gun Association. Our organization needs support to continue to get the education out there. Because approaching firearm ownership from an uneducated perspective, when we have been starved of that education, you're going to end up with things like that. And so we are teaching the education, and we support it. Our mission is to consult, educate, and train.
Let me ask you about...
I'm sorry, your time has expired.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize it. I apologize.
Yeah. Thank you, no problem. The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Dean. Ms. Lee.